is a gift.
Manuel Chavez III, alias the Fango, Arturo Tafoyovsky, alias Lestat, and Eddie Gutierrez, alias Unirock, are known LARPs who dedicate their time to discredit researchers and abuse survivors. They tried to muddy the waters of the investigation after Kappy died, as they are notorious for making a mockery out of the subjects they cover. They are all criminals, as they admitted or even recorded themselves committing a crime. Lestat admitting having intercourse with a minor, while the Fango taped himself threatening a woman and her family. He also tried to blackmail an individual with threats of doxing him on YouTube. Who bankrolls them? Who sets their targets?
And trust me, go look up the cicada thing. Black Backbird Bogarts and Michael A. Levine. Those are your two cicada people. Well, those are the ones that at least own it. Thomas doesn't get to own the trademark. Although he's trying to lie to everybody and say that he's going to get it. Just going to look at you, Blackbird, and say, if you give him that trademark, I'm going to stop at nothing in the entire world to ruin your life, your family's life, your husband's life, and anyone that's ever been known to you ever, Beth. Like I said, if you ever think about it, even attempt it, to give that thing to him, it's all over. And that's it. Dude, you're done. And I expect that $1,000 in my bank account and my PayPal by the end of today. And if that $1,000 is not in my PayPal at the end of the day, more information will be released. This time it's going to be the stuff that shows you doing nasty things to melons and things. And welcome to the danger zone. Welcome. Let me sit down. Oh shit, folks. The love affair between me and Gabe Hoffman is over. It's over! I mean, I don't think that there was ever a love affair out there, but I'm just going to be super unadulterated. This is going to be a direct one. If I see people chatting in the chat, I might, pick something up, but we're going to just talk about this one directly. So, everybody knows that I've been having Gabe Hoffman on the show for a while now, right? He's been calling in, all of the LARPers, like Steve Outram and the rest of them, be talking all kinds of shit. Lestat's all like, Gabe Hoffman has been defending. Steve Outram's like, Gabe Hoffman's spending money on defending. He's paying for defending. They're all part of the Mossad. They're going to take it down. Obviously, none of that shit is true. So, what are we going to do right now? I'm going to tell you all the true things, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm a really easy guy to get along with, okay? All I ask is that guys like Gabe Hoffman don't promote LARPing-ass bitches like Tiffany Vecchia Fitzhenry. The girl that we looked up, found to have a criminal record, found to not be a Hollywood insider, and found to, basically, have been lying about all of her history. Tiffany Fitzhenry, she's got me blocked because she doesn't like me because she knows that, I actually came after her. And I was like, yo, you're a QAnon LARPer. You have never put out any information that you didn't steal from anybody else. And then the new thing today is, so an open secret co-producer, Matt Valentine's, tweeted a legit Hollywood child sex abuse story by Tiffany Fitzhenry. Excuse me, how can you say that this story is legit? There's nothing in the news that says that this story is legit. They have no evidence that this story is legit. This story hasn't even gone to court yet, actually. This story, Gabe, came out in 2019 in September, and it had nothing to do with Tiffany Vecchia or anybody like that. And I actually looked. Neither you nor an open secret were promoting this whatsoever. And even on top of that, none of the information that has been released about this says that this is an actual true story. I mean, isn't it kind of weird, a kid in a boy band getting raped for 3 years and then finally just waiting to come out and expose it after he ran out of money? I think that that's a little bit of a problem. So Gabe's like a smart guy, but like I have issues with guys like Gabe. Like he feels like he's a very very well-to-do individual. He's made a lot of money. He's done a lot of great stuff, but he treats me like I'm a person that also hasn't made a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, oh well, I love to make a donation to your channel, but unfortunately, I can't make a donation because of all the larpers and shit like that. You know, Gabe's never paid me anything, actually. He's never paid me anything. Actually, the only thing that Gabe has ever gotten me, well, two things, is that massage shirt that he mailed me so that he could get my address just in case he needed to sue me later. Yeah. And then the second thing was is he got me a piece of griper. I tweeted about it earlier today on my LARP Wars channel, but so I'm going to release a little piece of information that you guys might not have known about. And this is just because, like Gabe has proven himself to be a LARPer. He's promoting Tiffany Fitzhenry on his open source secret page. He knows all about the stuff that we investigated. He heard about the DOJ investigators that were also looking to it. So, he doesn't have to believe a word that I said, but the thing is look, Tesla, boy, just because you're some, fucking guy that, spends some money, Gabe, I could fucking outspend you today if I wanted to. I could, actually. I could probably get a fund that's going just as good as yours. I just don't care about that shit. I got a bunch of Bitcoin, remember, Gabe? I got all that Bitcoin. Remember all that Bitcoin? All that Bitcoin you ain't got? All that Bitcoin you wanted me to transfer out, invest into your company? Yeah. I'm a little smarter than what you think, Gabe. So when I was in Florida, I was meeting up with the shadow broker, right? Everybody thinks the shadow broker is Gabe Hoffman, and the shadow broker is not Gabe Hoffman. Never was. Never was. The shadow broker is actually another friend of mine that works for a really, really interesting company that makes a lot of paper products. That's all I'm going to say. But Gabe basically was talking about creating a group where he wanted to have the ability so when people were attacking Jews, he could dox them and put their names and all their shit out online. That's actually what was really happening. So Gabe wanted to do some crazy shit where he was going to be working with different people. He didn't want this idea to get out, but it was basically kind of like what BDS was doing to Israeli companies or companies that were supporting Israel. So he was kind of sounding like he wanted to do the opposite of it, was asking me questions about how to get this thing online and how it could work and all this other stuff. And to me, I found it to be very, very sketch, honestly, because I'm not Jewish. I'm not a fighter for the Jewish people. I do not like it when people are being willfully anti-Semitic about shit, sure, but then again, I don't like racism mostly in any way, shape, or form. So it was kind of weird to me because me and the shadow broker didn't really understand why we were even there.
Who is Michelle Deanne Trefton, the landlord lady? How did she get to meet Kappy and offer him a room at her place anyway? Trefton contacted Kappy directly via Twitter to make him the offer. She created her Twitter account just before doing so. Was it done with that sole purpose in mind? Why would a woman who is not involved in the movement do that? It seems like a lot of work to help some guy she didn't seem to know much about. In her social media posts, you'll find several references to the occult and witchcraft. At the time of my investigation, there were references to Tom Hanks, and she had cozy pictures with Kevin Costner. On the videos and her posts about Kappy, she goes from calling him an adopted son to nonchalantly disparage him as a human being. Quotes like, "This smells like a narcissist's dirt," don't show much suffering or empathy. As you can see, her transformation is astounding. Why are they trying to portray Kappy as crazy, unstable, and lazy? Not only does she caters flowers to celebrities and Hollywood studios, but she is linked to the Agape International Spiritual Center of Southern California. Agape was Jack Parsons' occult lodge, where he was doing black magic with Church of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard, as they were proponents of Aleister Crowley's Thelema. I would love to see the list of Michelle's high-profile clients. Will we find Tom Hanks? Steven Spielberg? Seth Green? Did these women get hired to get close to Kappy and telegraph his moves to his enemies? It's possible.
There's one person, yeah. Two-person
Should we be
joining.
doing a live chat though?
It is, yeah.
Why? Why live? Why shouldn't we make a video and post it?
I don't know, but we got 25 people now.
Are they watching us right now?
Yeah.
Hey everybody! Okay, so this is Kayla's plan. Kayla's my friend and assistant. We live in the same neighborhood, and I told her to put on Isaac's hat and the glasses. We're Isaac's friends. He lived here for 8 months with us, and I'm the Christmas lady. I'm the crazy person that extended a home to Isaac. We all know he's a character, and I've had a lifetime of dealing with characters. I was raised in the music business. I have my own story, and I think Spirit moved me to invite Isaac to be here because he is a challenge, and I have some special skills. And I also was put on my own mission. I almost died from a parasite. I spent 4 years trying to get people to believe me, and I still have marks on my face I still have skin coming out. This is a mission that I was put on, and I think that I was hoping that Isaac could help. And what he did, his very last thing that he did was reach back to help all of us, because we have an epidemic. We have a massive epidemic, and some people know. I went before a court. I stood before 7 judges and stood there and told them, Your Honors, there's no such thing as Morgellons disease. So this is all explained while Isaac was living here. This is the note that he put on the refrigerator on the way out. It was a clue. It was a clue to help me with this. I wrote a report. I sent it to Mark Zuckerberg saying about the misdiagnosis of Morgellons disease. Now they've combined this with Lyme's disease, and all these people have a parasite. The parasite is a killer mite that came from the deserts of Iran. We sent those soldiers over. Now we have a massive epidemic, and it grows under the skin. It eats bones. It eats your face off, and you don't know you have it. This is so horrifying, and this is what I was trying to get him to help me with. Well, he finally did. So you can go and research this information, and what it is, it's a link to show that the CDC is telling these people that they have Lyme's disease. And these people all have a killer parasite called Norwegian crested scabies that sometimes turns into a killer dust, but most of the time it's growing under the bones. Now, all of this was brought to the CDC's attention.
My bad, you guys.
She's playing with the dog.
No, the dog is...
So, like, seriously, the dog. Okay. All right. Oh my God.
He misses Isaac, you guys. He just wants to be part of the...
Okay, so this is Willie. Willie's had the same problem. Humans give this to their dogs. It's human mange. It's mange for the dogs as well. And the veterinarians don't know. I've been able to save dogs by buying the 7-way dewormer, the Pet Armor 7-way dewormer. It's a full spectrum, and it kills the mites. And humans are giving it to their dogs. You can feel the lumps under the skin. And nobody's realizing this. I'm seeing all the celebrities I used to work for. It causes puffiness around the eyes. It's gone from me now. But this is swelling that was left. My chin was wider. There was a wider space between here. I went from looking like I was Scandinavian to Hispanic. I looked Hispanic. There, the space, my eyes were puffier. And I've seen this happen to all my friends, and people aren't listening. But Kayla's going to take over. She's going to talk to you for a moment about some of the things that happened with Isaac here. His parents are coming this week. And I'm going to go and show you what the right cure, the right answer for now for this whole entire epidemic that we have going. I'm going to give you that answer. One moment, and Kayla's going to take over.
Single item pieces of missing clothing and accessories strewn about on sidewalks, parking lots, deserted roads, etc. Disturbingly, many of these items belong to children, and it seems they are displayed as trophies openly on social media. Before Isaac Kappy died, actor Tom Hanks implied previous knowledge of the tragedy. He signaled Kappy's demise on social media with a post on Route 66, a crushed bottle cap in the dirt with a PH on it, which would read Kappy. In that post, he wrote, quote, "Historic Route 66. Roadkill? I hope not. Hanks." Quote. Hanks also hinted at Kappy's acting roles, as he covered the green Breaking Bad handkerchief with a red one of his own, a coded thread. Added to all this, a woman named Sarah Ruth Ashcraft came out in 2018 to denounce Hanks. She claims her dad sold her to the actor as a sex slave when she was 13 years old. The actor's offspring is not shy about their links to Freemasonry, witchcraft, and the infamous Illuminati. Ashcraft's testimony has been put into question by some people, but it is up to you to decide if you believe her story.
You have a young daughter as well.
I do.
Who is getting involved in show business?
Well, she's got chops. Our daughter, Sophie, is a delightful child. She's always been rambunctious, always been loaded up with personality. And look, if she wants to go into the business, she can.
But it seems like you're in a, I wouldn't say pushing, but it seems like you're very supportive of this.
Oh, listen, when your kids have dreams, I back them up, pure and simple.
Boy, do you, because you brought us some videotape here. This is from a program that you allowed yourselves to be in.
I am in the business, so I have some contacts, and there was a possibility perhaps maybe to do something for one of those, the cable channels that are like 300, 320, on the thing. And so we went out and we put together a little possibility for me and my...
Well, we have it right here.
Me and
Let's
Sophie
take a look.
Hanks. My name is Tom Hanks, and I am super excited because my daughter Sophie and I are competing in the Miss Ultimate Sexy Baby Nevada pageant. And when it comes to awards, this is as big as it gets.
I'm Sophie Hanks, and I want to be Miss Ultimate Sexy Baby. I like pageants because I like winning money and I get to buy anything I want.
Sophie and I did her first page when she was only 3 months old. Here she is. She got Queen. You remember that, honey?
Not really.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Well, as you can see, we got over 40 of these bad boys. In fact, we named her Sophie because it rhymes with...
Nothing.
Rhymes with trophy. Say it. I love trophies.
No.
Say it. I love trophies.
No.
Oh, come on. All right, give me a smile. Give me a big pad.
No! I hate smiles! And I hate pageants!
Oh, now don't be a hooch. Don't have a hooch moment. Hooch is a bad dog. Well, sometimes she has to take a break, and Sophie can get emotional. I mean, I know what it's like to be a kid, because I played one in Big. All of this is for Sophie. It's for Sophie. I mean, this is about her.
I think my dad wants to be a pageant queen, but he can't.
And shoulder, 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 shoulder. She needs to know these routines backwards and forwards, because when she gets up there, it has to be all automatic. Sexy hands, sexy feet, sexy feet, sexy feet. I see right now Sophie lacks discipline, focus. She's got to keep that eye on the prize. Honey, sorry. Swimsuit competition.
Swimsuit competition.
Swimsuit competition. Oh! Sparkle time! When it comes to makeup, some people say less is more, but I say more is more. Yes! Yes, it's here! It's here! Here it is! Oh, there you are. Oh. You look just like a Bratz doll. Oh, you look just like a Bratz doll. Go! We are so excited. This is a glitz pageant, so everything has to be just princess perfect. Here we come, sweetie. Sweetie. Come on.
I'm so excited.
Hi, Sophie Hanks. Oh, here they are. Look at them. Sweet, pretty losers, every one of them. Don't wrinkle, don't wrinkle, don't wrinkle. Sit up. I think the only person who can beat Sophie is Sophie. Is that right? Right?
Yes.
That's right. It's hers to lose.
Next up in the Little Miss category is Sophie Hanks.
All right, now remember we talked about focus, right? Make daddy love you. Sexy baby.
Sexy baby.
Sexy baby. All right, get up. There you go. Earn it. Poison? Poison is Sophie's favorite 1980s hair band. Yeah.
Talk dirty to me.
Sexy baby! Sexy baby! You were such a sexy baby! I'm proud of you, proud of you. Yes, yeah, I'm proud of her. Yeah, I'm proud of her. I mean, did she make some mistakes? Yeah. Mistakes are okay, provided you work on them. And don't make them again. Yeah, well,
I'll try
no,
not
we
to.
won't. We'll work on those really hard.
Miss Ultimate Sexy Baby 2011 Queen is... Rhonda Howard!
Well, look, there's a lot of politics involved. A lot of it is who you know.
This is my first Sexy Baby win, and I am over the moon.
I mean, seriously? With a tooth like that? I mean, sticking out like it does? I'm over the sexy baby. I don't think so. I don't get it. Not with teeth like that.
Houston, Tom has a problem. Eat my dust, Hanks. Thanks, Rhonda.
About being seen as the nicest guy in Hollywood is that no one searches my backyard for bodies.
I mean, these extremely reliable websites like 4chan, 8chan have been exposing shit, and it's like if somebody wrote it on the internet, you know it must be true, and it is true. So it's like I don't know how this is going to affect our whole New World agenda. Ever since The Simpsons predicted my dad being the spokesperson for the coronavirus, even though they didn't predict anything, it's been troublesome, to say the least. I guess I'm just going to have to work extra hard at my human sacrifices. I'm late for one right now, and I'm a little hungry, so I might eat someone's pineal gland on the way. But just know that we're watching you, and if you're talking shit on the internet, you're going to be the first people sent to the FEMA camps. So, hey.
Michael Whelan, alias Big and Mikey, is suspect for many due to his erratic behavior. The SRA survivor who allegedly witnessed child sex trafficking at Voodoo Donuts in Portland, Oregon, was in Arizona when Kappy died, allegedly. Why hide it? He behaves quite hostile when questioned or doubted. Leaving judgment aside over heavy drug use, when Robert the Deplorable questioned him, Whelan played dirty. He claimed he had Kappy's Deadman switch and wanted to trade it for info on those researching the case. Oddly enough, he wasn't looking for money, but the names of those in a Telegram group. A Telegram group in which Kappy's death was being discussed. Supposedly, it was because he was worried about what others said about him and his involvement. Why would he care about that? It makes no sense unless you have something to hide. Why would he lie about such a thing? Robert successfully baited Whelan into revealing his deceptive ways. Whelan has an alibi for the day Kappy died, but he also confessed he left his mobile at home for the road trip. Who forgets their mobile when taking such a long trip like this one? Sounds like a ploy to avoid GPS tracking and not having his location match Isaac Kappy's. Anyone can bribe anyone into crafting an alibi. Period. After Kappy passed, I befriended Robert the Deplorable, an SRA survivor who supposedly cared about him. As we connected the dots, we received threats, the both of us, allegedly. On Friday, May 31st, 2019, I received a bribe offer of about $5,000 in Bitcoin to delete all accusations against Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and Gabe Hoffman. A curious list of names, all linked to Black Cube Intelligence and Mossad. Again, another coincidence? 12 hours after I showed him the threat sent to me, he was allegedly found on the floor by his uncle. He claimed masked intruders broke into his home and hung him from an electrical cord. Luckily, as they left thinking mission accomplished, the cord broke, saving Robert's life, as his uncle later found him and called the paramedics. That's the version we got from the uncle and Robert himself after he recovered. One prevalent thing in Isaac Kappy's inner circle is the number of traitors. As I spoke with Fiona Barnett often, who herself had a falling out with Isaac Kappy and wrote an offensive eulogy, she warned me of people involved with intelligence, among them Stephen Outram, Thomas Schomburger, and Craig Sawyer. Shortly after, Fiona and I were attacked in unison by Sasha Stone, Robert David Steele, Gabe Hoffman, and Craig Sawyer himself, an orchestrated effort. As a threat to many perps, nefarious people try to get close, not only to gather intel on our lives, but also to feed us disinformation so we can be discredited. I was sure Thomas Schomburger was sketchy and couldn't be trusted, but I needed to know if Outram was as well, mainly because he did a decent research on Kappy. Sadly, Outram's loyalty to Thomas is problematic, but mostly is unbreakable. What I learned along the way came with great sacrifice, as I lost my income and my platforms. I told Fiona I was gonna infiltrate Thomas Schomburger and Stephen Outram. She warned me it was going to be dangerous, and odds were I was going to be affected by it. And I was. But if you ask me, was it worth it to lose my platforms and have some inconveniences in order to get to the truth and know who was honest and not? Yes, it was worth it. The truth is always worth the squeeze. Please stay tuned for the final episodes. We're getting closer. As a side note, I want to make sure some people understand something. This case is one of the most complicated ones I've ever worked. Not because of all the disinformation agents around, but also because of the hostility which they use to go after you, after your friends, and even after your family sometimes. Since we published Brackets and Jackets Part 3, Nick and I have had some inconveniences with people that demand we face them in public. Rest assured, a public debate is something I'm almost always willing to engage in. In this case, because the person in question is making a circus out of the situation, I'm not gonna play the game. I'm not gonna feed this individual's channel with views over something so petty. And I'm not gonna bend my will and surrender to someone's ego because they send me threats and insults via email. It doesn't make any difference to me what people say about me, just because they believe they have control over the investigation. I will expand on this subject on a side video because this drama doesn't have any business with what happened to Isaac Kappy. It's totally separated. That said, it doesn't make me happy to have to denounce people or to have to put them into question. Even people who were friends and who I cared about, like Robert. But the truth of the matter is, I don't owe nothing to these people. I owe myself to the truth. And freedom of speech dictates I can do my own research, my own investigation, and reach my own conclusions, even if those are not liked by some. Thank you.
gift.